Okay, guys, we down here at the shop. I want to talk to you just a few minutes. Some of the family has asked me about, trapping family has asked me about the coonskin hat that I was wearing, and if I made them myself. And the answer is yes, I do make these. I don't see any sense in catching the animals and going through the process and then sending it off to the fur house, and it'll sit up there for a year, and they might give you $2 for it. When you can take your hides, and I got some videos on there. If you run them through that tanning process and tan your own hides, of course it's a little bit of a job, but you can run them through there and tan them. And once you get them tan, you can come back and you can make stuff like this out of it. You know, you're gonna tan them and break them down, and then you can take your hides and make some hats out of it. Now I've got a video on how to make coonskin hats. If you're new to this, go to Woody's Trapping and how to make coonskin hats. You can see this process. I made about 12 or 13 of these last summer, and I still got some hides over there that I've tanned that I'm gonna get back on again this summer. And all the coons that I've caught this winter, I'll be tanning those hides, and I'll be making some hats out of them. Now these hats sell for about $100 a piece. Once you go through the process and make the hat and stuff like that, you know, and it's worth $100. But I'll take those coons, like I said, and I've said on a lot of the videos that I got out there. I got excuse me, I got Tim that comes over and get those carcasses, and they barbecue them, and I make enough money off of those carcasses to buy my gas, and I make more off of that than I would sending it off to the fur house. But anyway, this is one of them, and I think my brother over there at Bluegrass Trapping sent me a comment and asked me about the hat, and yes, I do. And he said that he'd like to have one made out of a coyote or a bobcat. I hadn't got it. I hadn't got that far yet, but it would probably be the same process. But if you're into tanning your own hides, then I advise you to go through that process. They've made it a lot easier since the older days. We went through a brain tanning process, and it was a little bit longer, and we were having to smoke the hides. Now on this, I'm using that Hunter and Trapper's tanning solution, and I get that at F&T Furs, and it does a pretty good job. But once I get my inside hat or outside hat made, I coat the inside with a tan coat. It's a leather coat, and I tan the inside a bit, and it kind of gives it a good leather smell, and I go from there. But if you go back, check my film there, making coonskin hats, you can pretty well see. And probably this summer I'm gonna make one probably from start to end, showing how to go through that process. But now, what you do, you measure your head around just like you got on a baseball cap, and you measure your head around, and that's the size that you want your hat to be in here. So the one that I got on there fits a men's small. I got a small head, a little bitty head, but anyway, the measurements that I gave on making that coonskin hat is for a men's small. And it'll fit a lot of young ones, because these young ones this day and time, they're born with a head bigger. But anyway, if you go through that process, and you know, you'll have to figure out if your head's a little bit bigger, then you're gonna have to add to the measurements just a little bit. And once you start to sew those things, you can fit it onto your head and make sure it fits right. But I hope that answers some questions. Just go back on into my films there, and you'll see how I go through the process of tanning the hides and breaking them down. And like I said, I just don't see no sense in going through that process and sending them off to the fur house, and you might sell 15 or 20 at $2 a piece. And then they'll keep the rest of your furs for a year or two before they sell them. And when you can, if you find somebody that eats those coons, you can make some gas money off of that. And if not, make you some hats. I got to try to get on YouTube and go through that process. I sold some of those locally that I made, but I got to get on YouTube with some trapping buddies there and see if I can sell some around and make a little bit of money. You make one hat and sell one hat and make more off of that than you can sending 50 hides off to the fur house. So, and I'm not down on the fur house, you know, or not down on the buyers. It's just there's just no money in it right now. So if you're thinking about getting into trapping for the money, you're gonna go busted. So it's a hobby and a thing to make a small amount of money, you know, to buy you gas and to get rid of these nest busters. All right, hopefully this will kind of clear up a little bit, but go back and catch some of my films. You'll see where I'm going through there and going through the tanning process and the making hats. All right, this is Woody. We're gonna kick out again.